Here's why Toyota's not ready to go all in on EV. Demand for the electric car increased as gas costs rose, prompting many car manufacturers to introduce hybrid versions of their own. One of the most efficient gasoline-powered vehicles in the United States is the Prius, and now there's even a plug-in hybrid electric version. Some of Toyota's traditional fans have abandoned the company. Why is that? Well, we'll find out here at Tech Addicts, as the auto industry moves toward a battery-powered future, largely because of Prius and Toyota's reluctance to invest in fully electric vehicles. Toyota Motor, with the Prius Hybrid, an electrified vehicle that was among the cleanest and most fuel-efficient automobiles ever created, won the hearts of environmentalist and eco-conscious consumers in the United States about 20 years ago. The facts are, modern hybrids are not environmentally friendly vehicles. In a recent blog post, Catherine Garza, director of the Sierra Club's Clean Transportation for All campaign, argued that the Prius Hybrid uses the same polluting combustion engine as any other gas-powered vehicle. Greenpeace released results of research comparing the decarbonization efforts of 10 automakers. Toyota scored last, with the lowest percentage of sales coming from zero-emission vehicles such as electric vehicles. When rival automakers like GM and Volkswagen have pledged billions of dollars to create alternative fuel vehicles like the Prius, Toyota's been slow to follow suit, only recently making similar commitments. In addition, the company is still putting money into its electrified vehicle lineup, which includes the Prius and the BZ4X electric crossover released not so long ago, but which hasn't exactly impressed everyone. The world's largest car maker is now at odds with many of its competitors because of this strategy, and its dedication to a sustainable future for the industry is being called into doubt, despite the fact that the firm aspires to become carbon neutral by the year 2050. Not only does Toyota intend to do something similar, but other businesses do as well. Significant investments are being made in hybrid electric vehicles by a number of automakers, including Ford, Stellantis, and Japanese manufacturers. Although it shouldn't come as much of a surprise, the ancestor of today's popular hybrid cars took a cautious approach to electric vehicles. The top brass at Toyota argues that not every region will adopt electric vehicles at the same pace, owing to variables such as the high cost of the vehicles and a lack of infrastructure in order to justify the greater expenditure that they are doing on electric vehicles. Meanwhile, we notice that only 2% of our viewers are subscribed, so please make sure you subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on any juicy EV news. And now, that's awesome. The marketplace isn't mature and ready enough. At the level, we would need to have a mass movement, said Jack Hollis, Executive Vice President of Sales at Toyota Motor North America, during a virtual meeting of the Automotive Press Association last month. For as much as people want to talk about EVs, the marketplace isn't mature and ready enough, Hollis said. It is Toyota's goal to have a portfolio of 30 battery-powered vehicles available for purchase by the year 2030. This reflects an investment of 4 trillion yen, which is equivalent to around $28 billion based on the current rate of exchange. Toyota is continuing to develop its technology for battery electric cars while simultaneously maintaining its focus on hybrid vehicles such as the Prius. Our objective is to ensure that every individual is provided with the opportunity to make a contribution to the movement to reduce the negative effects of climate change, and this should be the case. We know that the answer is not to treat everyone the same, said Gil Pratt, Toyota's chief scientist and CEO of the Toyota Research Institute, during a media event in Michigan last month. A few weeks ago, the business stated that it would invest up to $5.6 billion in hybrid and all-electric battery manufacture in Japan and the United States. That's a lot, but it's nothing compared to the likes of General Motors or Volkswagen. Example, GM plans to sell only electric vehicles with zero emissions by 2035. This includes the Cadillac and Buick brands. Other automakers have made similar commitments or set goals of having at least half of their North American sales be all-electric vehicles. By 2030, Toyota hopes to have sold more than one-third of its current sales in electric vehicles. About 1 million of those will be sold under the upscale Lexus brand, which by then will be offering EVs solely in Europe, North America, and China. On December 14, 2021, in Tokyo, Japan, Toyota Motor Corporation presented its plans for its battery electric vehicle lineup at a briefing. Toyota is certainly on the conservative side when it comes to electric vehicles, according to Paul Waddy, manager of industry analysis at Auto Pacific, but this isn't necessarily a bad thing for such a huge automaker. It was his opinion that they were playing it safe. From a worldwide vantage point, many markets are developing at various rates. The adoption of electric vehicles in the United States lags behind that of Europe and China, although there are still markets where none exists. A multinational car maker would do well to diversify its powertrains in order to stay competitive. Toyota sold more automobiles in 2021 than any other automaker worldwide, 10.5 million overall, not counting sales by affiliates Daihatsu Motors and Hino Motors across almost 200 nations and territories. The world's second largest car maker, Volkswagen, sold 8.9 million vehicles in 153 countries, while General Motors and its joint venture sold 6.3 million vehicles, largely in North America and Asia. Toyota sees fully electric vehicles as a step towards its objective of carbon neutrality, but not as the only step. To paraphrase, "I'm not going to invest on the assumption that battery electrics will make up 100% of the market in the far future. I just don't see it," said Jim Adler, the founding managing director of Toyota Ventures. The market is expected to be diverse. Executives at Toyota anticipate that the rate of adoption of electric vehicles will vary between regions, depending on factors such as access to charging infrastructure, energy costs, and the availability of raw materials used to make batteries. Toyota Mirai, a hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle, will debut in 2022. Toyota's also made significant investments in hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, such as the next-generation Mirai, in addition to its hybrid and plug-in electric vehicle lineup. Vehicles that run on energy generated from hydrogen and oxygen produce only water vapor as waste and function similarly to battery electric vehicles. They can be refueled with a nozzle virtually as fast as regular gas and diesel cars. Hollis argued that reduction tools such as battery electric vehicles, fuel cells, and plug-in hybrids will become increasingly prevalent in the future. Fuel cell vehicles, however, still deal with the same issues as all electric vehicles, such as high prices, a lack of infrastructure, and a lack of consumer comprehension. Toyota has announced that it is investigating e-fuels, which company representatives have described as a carbon-neutral fuel that might replace gasoline in conventional automobiles. Money and resources. The prices of middle ground alternatives are typically lower. A 2022 Toyota Prius hybrid, which can achieve up to 56 miles per gallon combined, according to the EPA, can be purchased for under $25,000. This is around $17,000 cheaper than the price of the automaker's all-electric BZ4X SUV. Inflation and rising demand for raw minerals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel that are used to make battery cells contribute to the already exorbitant cost of the batteries used in electric vehicles. It was reported by Alex Partners, a consulting firm, that the price of raw materials for electric vehicles doubled during the coronavirus pandemic. This means that Toyota's hybrid strategy is reasonably cost-effective. Additionally, Toyota claims that there is an insufficient supply of these elements for everyone's needs. In the next decade or so, there will be huge constraints in lithium supply around the world, Pratt warned. Take a look at how many mines need to be built. As the number of refineries that need to be compensated increases rapidly to meet rising demand, a shortage of battery-grade nickel is imminent. Canadian startup, The Metals Company, predicts that the output of battery-grade nickel, cobalt, and manganese sulfate would fall far short of what is needed to meet U.S. EV ambitions by 2030. According to the publicly traded mining company's projections, even if all expected production of nickel sulfate through 2030 from the United States and free trade agreement countries was used to manufacture electric vehicles, it would supply less than 60% of EV targets established by manufacturers. Moving forward with Toyota. Hey, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do like it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. And also, check out other videos that have been specially selected just for you. And we'll catch up with you next time. Thanks for watching!